Hey guys, my name is Nicholas Byrne and I've been lifting for almost 5 years now. And I know a lot of my gym friends who have skipped legs and have really tiny legs in proportion to their upper bodies. And this just leads into a spiral of not being confident with your legs. And my goal for this video is to make you feel confident when you take your shirt off and when you take your pants off. So yeah, let's go. So the leg is comprised of 3 main muscle groups: the quads, hamstrings, and calves. Don't forget about the calves. And if you're wondering where glutes are, they kind of just fit in with the exercises I do, so I don't really incorporate them as a separate muscle group. But if you're trying to get that BBL, trying to fill out those pants, I would just add a specific exercise in addition to whatever we talk about today to work out those glutes. So I like to start off my leg day with a compound movement, whether that be squats, hack squats, or leg press. Personally, I love hack squats just because it has less of a strain on my lower back and it's just super easy and so super convenient. So I mean, yeah, I might get a little hate for that, but barbell squat in my opinion is just, it doesn't work for me. My back always dies, and it might be the form, but I've been trying to fix the form for like 4 years. So I decided, hey, it's time to move on to hack squat, and I know a lot of you guys are in that same position, so hack squat. So the reason I start off with a compound movement is just because you have more energy when you first get into workout. Another reason is because compound movements don't really isolate any of your muscle groups, which gives you like a good amount of time to recover and then isolate on those specific muscle groups later in the workout. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's start off with our first exercise, hack squat. And again, I primarily do this movement because it has less strain on my back. And also, one big pro for hack squats is that you can push as hard as you can, like until failure and beyond failure where you're shaking, and not have to worry about like falling over and getting injured. You just like crumble into a ball, all right? Like it stops for you. It's way safer than squats in my opinion. So yeah, just keep that in mind. For the form for the hack squat, you just want to get under the machine, and your foot position varies a lot. Like depending on what muscle you're primarily trying to hit on hack squat, your feet position will change. I usually just go like shoulder width apart and just put my feet like this. For me, that works. And it also helps me hit my glutes because I don't have a dedicated exercise to glutes, but I know a lot of my friends, they go close together like this, just like Tom Platz, and that isolates more of the quads. Before you start the movement, you want to brace. So like before you go down. This is crucial for your lower back and just your overall stability. So don't forget to brace. And you want to exhale as you push through your heels and mid toe area. So I usually start my hack squat workout with 3 warm-up sets just to make sure that your legs are nice and ready to push to exhaustion. And then I gradually increase the weight until my first working set. So I'll do 3 working sets, aiming for about 6 to 12 reps per set. I'll take all of these sets till failure, and on the last one, I will take it to absolute failure with drop sets and assisted reps, taking a 3 to 5 minute rest interval in between each set. And the reason why the rest time is really high for hack squats is because you don't want to pass out. Like I've had my friends try my leg routine, one of them threw up and one of them had to go home. So we don't want that. We want you to fully recover. So take that rest time. And also for my last working set, I do go really extreme. This is not necessary at all, by the way, but what I do is I go to failure, I drop set with partials, and I don't stop until my body is pulsating and like shaking. That's probably not good for you. I don't know why I do it. It's just I like to go really, really hard on leg days. Definitely not necessary though. I might just be weird, but still try to go to failure. Like you don't have to go until you're shaking, but at least aim for failure. But again, if failure is not what you like to do and that's just gonna stop you from working out, then just go light, go as hard as you want. As long as you're in the gym, you're doing something right. Okay, so because hack squat isolates the quads a little bit more, we are gonna move into our first hamstring exercise, which is the hamstring curl. Now, there's 2 variations of this. There's either the laying hamstring curl or the seated hamstring curl. And I personally enjoy the seated hamstring curl just because you get more of a stretch and leads to more muscle activation. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's your preference, whatever you feel more. So why do I love the seated leg hamstring curl? Well, first off, it's really good for isolating your hamstrings. And secondly, there's a constant resistance throughout the whole movement, which is something you can't get from free weights. And the form for hamstring curls are pretty simple. You just curl the weight. And once you finally curl that weight as high as you can, you want to squeeze those hamstrings and boom, you're gonna feel it, and you're gonna feel it well. And just like the hack squats, I have a couple warm-up sets, and then I move into my working sets, which is 3 sets of 6 to 12 reps all till failure, having a 2 to 3 minute rest interval in between, because hamstrings, they're less demanding than something like a compound movement. And again, for my last set, I'll do drop set assisted, drop set assisted, making sure that my hamstrings have no will to live. Now that we've fully isolated our hamstrings, it's time to fully isolate our quads. But before that, I just want to take a note for our sponsor of the video, FlexiSpot Desk. So if you remember earlier in the video, I mentioned I had lower back pain, and that's where FlexiSpot standing desk comes in. Sitting for a long period of time is really bad for your health, leading to lower back pain, bad posture, and low circulation. A standing desk easily lets you switch from sitting to standing, increasing your health and productivity, and is also a main reason why I have the standing desk, just so it helps with my back. Right here we have the E7 Pro with a black frame, a dark bamboo desktop, 63 by 31. And you don't have to worry about the weight limit on this bad boy because it can handle up to 355 pounds. Stability is key for any desk, so let's test FlexiSpot out. The desk is stable. Okay, so if you're ready to bring your health up at a fairly reasonable price, visit FlexiSpot.com. You can use my exclusive code Q1YTB30 for extra $30 off the E7, E7 Pro, and E7L. For the new arrival E7 Plus, use code Q1YTB50 to get $50 off. Let's go back to the video. Okay, so back to the video. The movement we are gonna use to isolate our quads are leg extensions. Leg extensions are just so good because they isolate the quads like nothing else, and also the resistance profile is amazing. Again, this is something you can't really get with free weights, so leg extensions, boom. The form for the leg extensions is also very simple. You want to just lift your legs up, and you want to briefly pause when your legs are straight, and then you want to come back down, maintaining control throughout the whole movement just so you feel your quads. And just like the hack squat and the hamstring curls, we want to do a couple warm-up sets before we get into our main working set, which is just 3 sets of 6 to 12 reps till failure. And honestly, with leg extensions, you can go for higher reps. Like sometimes I do 8 to 16 reps. And there's a very special way I like to do my last set. It's called the Tower of Death. I know, sounds like an amazing name because it is a tower of death. So basically how I perform this last set is that I'll go to my working set weight and I'll do that until I reach failure. And then I'll drop the weight by like 10 to 20 pounds. And then I'll go all the way till failure. Drop it again, failure, drop, failure, you know, you get the gist. So you're just gonna keep going until you can't even lift 10 pounds. And this is probably gonna be the worst burn in your legs that you've ever felt, but trust me, like after you finish, it feels so good. You don't have to do what I do for the last set and go like drop set, failure, because legs are very demanding in cardio and stuff like that. So no worries. But if you wanna try it, go for it and let me know how it is. And lastly, we have calves. I know all of you guys skip calves. There's like probably like 1% of you who actually hit calves, and go you. But the other 99% of people just skip calf day. A lot of people think it's genetics and they can't be grown, but they can be grown, guys. You just gotta train them. If you wanna be able to wear shorts proudly, start hitting calves. That's all I gotta say. So the exercise I do for calves are standing calf raises, either with a barbell or a machine, but I personally like the machine just because it's like easier to control the weight. But if you do perform the standing barbell calf raise, then you wanna have something underneath your foot so you have the full range of motion. So the reason I like standing calf raises over like something like seated calf raises is just because your calves get more of a stretch when you're standing up, which means to more muscle activation and more muscle growth, right? But if you really enjoy seated calf raises like I do, then still hit them, right? Just try to alternate standing, sitting, something like that. Standing calf raises are the #1 way to make your calves burn like crazy. Like calf burns are kind of the scariest for me because I'm like traumatized I'm gonna get a calf cramp, but it's worth it. It's worth it. So you want to perform this movement with the balls of your feet on the little platform, and you want your heel to be hanging off. So you have this like leverage. So you want to lower your heel towards the ground until you really feel that stretch, and then you want to push up as high as you can with the ball of your foot and then squeeze your calves. Like, you're gonna feel it. It's gonna like shoot through your calf, and that's what you're going for. And for calves, I actually do a lot more sets and reps just because a lot of people calves are lacking, and so is mine, and I want to improve it. So I do 5 sets of 8 to 18 reps, and that's a pretty broad like rep range, but that's because I do more of a pyramid style training where I do heavier sets that I keep going down and down and down. And I also just love making my calves feel on fire. It makes me feel like my calves are growing. So all of these sets, you want to go to failure. Your calves can handle a lot, right? You walk every day, you run, right? Your calves are strong. Don't be afraid to push them. And yeah, I mean, that pretty much concludes the whole leg workout. If you guys want to follow this routine and want it in a PDF style, here it is. Take a good look, and I will also be putting some alternative exercises right here. I would just pick one compound movement, one quad focus movement, one hamstring focus movement, and one calf focus movement, and you'll be set. Your legs will begin to grow, and you can wear your shorts confidently. I know, that seems like it's never gonna happen. You're gonna feel like you are always imbalanced, but trust me, hitting legs is good for you. And even if you haven't hit legs for the past 3 years, if you start hitting legs now, they will slowly go up to your upper body, and you will be proportional once again. I know you got this. You can hit legs. You are better, and yeah. Also, just a quick reminder, FlexiSpot desk, great for your back, great for everything. Go check them out if you want to. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.